Hey everyone, Lori and Kayleen here, back at you again. Today we are pushing out a ton of new content, and today we are going to cover the 2021 buying guide to moving to Colorado. So stay tuned. If you're thinking of moving to our area, this is one you're not going to want to miss. Stay tuned to the very end as we go over our number one reason and number one tip on moving to Colorado Springs.
Hey guys, it's Kayleen and Lori here with Colorado's finest realty in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and now covering the entire state of Colorado. So if you're thinking about moving to our area, then we're glad you're here. Please hit that subscribe button or that bell or call us. We are actually the ones that answer the phone. You can reach out to us day, night, whatever is easiest, text, email. Our phone number is 719-639-3393. Again, if this is your first time to the channel or you haven't subscribed, hit that button and you'll be notified anytime we put out new content, which is every Tuesday and Thursday. So without further ado, give us a call and let's get on to our buying guide.
Hey guys, so we are actually at one of our listings. We're waiting for the appraisal to come. He's going to come and do a little value of our little condo we have listed over here in the west side of Colorado Springs. But we are kind of hopping on to give you a little our perspective of the buying guide of moving to Colorado Springs and what that looks like in 2021 as we move into 2022. So here's our tips.
Yeah,
our words of wisdom from Lori and Kayleen for the day.
It's definitely, like, in Lori and I's opinion, the market is softening maybe just a little, but it is still a seller's market. And so if you are selling a home wherever you're coming from and moving here, it's still, number one tip, if we can talk with you, talk through your timeline. If you're selling that home, maybe negotiating in a lease back for an amount of time. What it does is it buys you a little bit of time here shopping in Colorado to be able to maybe have a month to look for a home instead of just a week.
Yeah, a lot of our clients are like, okay, so we have a lot of moving parts. Some of them have animals, some of them have children.
Kids in school.
Just trying to not move your items. Like, we all know what it's like to pack up and move. It's like an overwhelming chore because there's always one more drawer, one more closet, just a lot of moving pieces. And so how do you line that up to, if you have a place to sell specifically, or a lot of our clients have somewhere to sell out of state and then they're moving to Colorado, so we've talked to like realtors before. We can help refer you to a realtor in your own state of where you're at.
Yeah.
And then we also can help, if you have one or whatever, we can help guide them on like what would work best for the listing that you have. So I don't know why so many planes are going over. There's my Air Force Academy or what? We're usually not by the airport right now. But anyways, what that looks like.
We can talk with that
agent
we do it all the time.
You're at. Like, listen here, once we get your home under contract, we can kind of start looking, and kind of contingencies can maybe start to happen then as far as your offer goes. But if you're gonna be more competitive if your home closes. And so if your home closes, and you have those funds in hand, you're more likely to get an offer accepted here. And that's where you can ask, sometimes in that contract, like in the MLS notes, when your agent lists their home, seller prefers a 30-day free post-occupancy. So you can still live in your home in your current state and then be shopping without a contingency here in Colorado. And it's a really good strategy and tactic to make it that seamless as best as we can for you to get here to Colorado. So that's our number one tip, as a lease back if you own a home. And so reach out if you have questions and we can help talk you through that and talk your realtor through what that looks like as well.
So another tip is, let us help place you with a lender specific to your needs. So if you are doing that sell to another, different lenders have different products that they can present. Like, they can recast a loan, they can do bridge loans if you're going from one home to another. If you want cash out of pocket to maybe pay off vehicles or other overhead, you know, they can talk you through what your minimum down would be. You know, there's different views on what the best financial advice would be when transitioning real estate. Some people like to put down the minimum to get them in the best loan and then take that rest of that money and pay off other overhead. So if you're looking at your total monthly overhead for your home, particularly, you know, whatever your goals are, we have different lenders that have a ton of different products.
Yeah.
And so putting you with the right lender to be able to navigate your financial situation best really is a huge piece to making this all work. Like I said, they can recast a loan. So if you're taking out a loan, if you have cash in pocket to, you know, go with a loan before your current home's under contract, because you can qualify for both, but then you want to take the proceeds from that initial house you're listing and pay down the home that you bought here in Colorado, that's called recasting. That's an option for certain loans.
And I will say too, is if we talk about the lender specifically, we've had clients who call us 1-800 Quicken Loan. I'm going to throw them out, but it'll be a Sunday night and I'll be writing an offer at 10 p.m. and I have no one to get a hold of for a pre-qual letter. And so it really gives them a disadvantage in that offer process, because I don't have someone that's like, press 1 for your checking, press 2 for savings. And I'm like, no, I need to speak to the loan officer to get a pre-qual letter. We have 30 minutes to put it in. And so sometimes if you have a lender and they are licensed here in Colorado and they're, you know, you love them and they're responsive and it's one person we always get a hold of, that's fine. That's great. But if it's some of those other ones that your loan gets passed off on and you don't even know who your loan officer is, you just get a general pre-approval, those get kind of tricky in our fast-paced market. So,
and I think that because we've been in this market for a little bit, maybe selling agents are a little bit more versed as to what kills a deal. And so if we're writing in an appraisal gap, a lot of agents are wanting to see proof of those funds. They'll call your loan officer. And they'll actually call the loan officer. And so it is nice to have somebody who we know we can get a hold of 7 days a week, 24 hours a day if we need, to get that offer accepted. Now, Lori and I was telling Lori she's a little relentless. And it's a good thing. Like when you're writing an offer like that,
they know who we are.
Knows who we are before
some agents
we even
just submit an offer and they just let it sit there.
You're
like, no, there's like 8 other
is.
offers, and that happens in our listings. I know that those are not offers on the top, even if it's like the top money wise, or I don't know,
I'm
strength
like,
of an
I have
offer.
no idea who this is.
But I guarantee you, agents know who we are. So it helps a little bit.
It does help.
It's part of who we are. All right, so we're back. We switched locations on you.
Appraisal was done. It went well.
It went really well. We don't know quite yet, but guy was nice. Anyways, so we are on to our last 2 tips. So the next tip we want to talk about is inspection. And so inspection is part of the process, and it kind of varies upon the market that you're in. And so Colorado's, our market's pretty hot, and it continues to kind of be hot. We said softening a little bit, but it's continuing to be hot. So there's different inspection objections that we can write into an offer when we write an offer for, contract of a property you're interested in. And so what that looks like, you just have to kind of maybe rely on us to kind of maneuver and take our opinion on some of that. So sometimes you get
expertise. Like we know what they're looking for in an appraisal. We know what they're looking for your loan conditions. And so if we walk through a home and it's only a couple years old and we don't see any red flags, which are, drainage, peeling paints, pressure valves on hot water heaters, we know that we can go in and possibly recommend writing an inspection where we're only asking for major items over X dollar amount, or
like we have 2
only
this
health
week
and safety
that are homes built from the 2019. They still have a home warranty on them. They're moving because life happens. You get a divorce, or you lose your job, or all of a sudden you're going to move to take care of a parent or anything. So, but they're new homes, and so an inspection on that is very different than an inspection on a home that's
like our old one over in Old Colorado City
for a
VA loan,
and it has. You can see some structural crackage in, some of the cement basements, or you could see a furnace that's 25 years old. So those are very different inspection clauses we'd write in.
I mean, we kind of play the game. Like, if we're like, this will at least get your offer accepted, but we can always write in this in inspection, like, you're covered for a failing roof. You're covered for a
Right.
furnace going out. We just have to, what we call, stack the inspection and get a professional out there, because the inspector is going to inspect everything, but he's not a professional for the furnace. And so if we have our HVAC professional out there and we already know what that dollar amount is, like there literally was one inspection that we did this week. I thought the furnace was shot, and the HVAC professional came in and it was some $140 part.
Right.
And I was like, I would never write an inspection clause in here. Like, this furnace, I'm pretty sure it's shot and it wound up being a $140 part. And then I was like, we will gladly take that over, you know. We wrote in the right inspection objection and got out actually way far ahead than where we thought we were.
I would like to say, if you're still with us, we know this isn't the most like crazy video. It's like only real estate agents think this stuff is like super exciting.
But just know we got your back.
We got you. We'll help you through it
And
all.
if you learn to just let us do what we do and lean on us a little, we promise we take care of you, and your interests are in our number one.
Yeah.
Our best interest.
So the last one is, well, there's two. I have a little surprise one for you guys, but the last one is, you know, when you come out to look at a home, let's say you don't have a ton of money to put down, or, you know, well, two pieces of that. One is, if you're coming out to look at homes on a Monday, you know that houses usually hit the market on a Wednesday or Thursday, Friday-ish time period, and then they go under contract Sunday evening into Monday. So when clients come into town on a Monday and look at homes with us, it's super hard to know, you know, what's still in the market, what's going to be pulling off any hour, because they're going to go under contract, and then the inventory on a Monday is really low. So if you can arrange it, if you're coming out here, you know, reach out to us to come on a Wednesday or Thursday, Friday. Those are better days to look for homes than a Monday or even a Tuesday sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and one thing with that, if we are trying to work around like a limited budget, or maybe something that's a little bit less appealing in an offer that we just have to be okay with. A lot of times, like Lori and I are working with a client right now, and we're trying to feed in a contingency, which is hard in this market, but we are getting them done. And what we're doing is we're looking for houses that are still on the market on that Tuesday, Wednesday, that have sat through the weekend. And those sellers are like, why is my house still sitting here? And the contingency is not that big of a deal.
Sorry, we picked a noisy place, I guess. My phone's
So that contingency is not near of a big deal as it was on that Friday when they thought they were going to get multiple offers over the weekend.
Right. So we sometimes scour that market on a Tuesday, see if there's any price decreases. A price decrease tells us that they haven't had an offer, and we can jump on it at that point. So those are some strategies that we've used for clients who don't have money for an appraisal gap, or you know, a loan with more or less money down, or like she said, a contingency. So a lot of different strategies we use. Oh, my very last tip. So my last tip
is a good one.
It's a good one. So if you're coming, and it's what is this? It's September 1st. So if you're coming, is it second? But right now you can buy the Epic Ski Pass. And so if you're coming
for
and you want to ski,
$500 for an adult,
$495, and you get Vail and Breckenridge,
Crested Butte,
Keystone, and so that means you can ski all season. And so instead of paying a lift ticket,
but you want to buy it sooner rather than later.
You can hit up that Epic Pass. So.
And if you have a kiddo in 4th and 5th grade, they can apply for a ski passport, and they get a ski for free. So if you get to go for the whole season for under $500 and your kiddo goes for free, that's our last great tip of this video.
And they get a free Christmas tree in the National Forest that you can go cut down for
So
Christmas.
come to Colorado.
So those are our tips for the home buying guide for 2021 as we go into 2022. So contact us anytime. We'd love to help you make the move. 719-639-3393.